A bar brag turns the eternal city to ash. Rome incinerated because one slurred jest couldn't stay buried in wine. If a tweet could torch your neighborhood, this ancient whisper is your direst warning. Ignite your history brain for 10 minutes straight to the inferno, where one loose tongue reshapes empires. Breathe in the fetid haze of Subura in July 64 AD, Rome's teeming underbelly wedged between the Esquiline and Viminal hills, a labyrinth of sagging insulae stacked 6 stories high like drunken dice towers, their rickety wooden frames groaning under the weight of hawkers, harlots, and huddled immigrants from every corner of the empire. Narrow alleys choke with the reek of tanning hides, baking bread gone stale, and open sewers snaking toward the Cloaca Maxima, while sunlight barely pierces the perpetual twilight of overhanging balconies, dripping with laundry and desperation. Here, in this powder keg of poverty, Lucius the spice merchant nurses his third amphora of Falernian at the Thermae Argenti, a dingy taberna where freedmen and dockhands swap tall tales over knucklebones and watered posca. Lucius, a wiry Syrian trader in his 40s with coal-rimmed eyes and a tongue sharpened by years dodging customs men on the Tiber docks, isn't plotting arson, he's drowning grudges, his latest shipment of pepper seized by imperial tax collectors to fund Nero's latest liar recital. Ever started a chain text catastrophe that snowballed into regret? This is antiquity's deadlier brew, born in a haze of dice clatter and flickering oil lamps, where Lucius, 3 cups deep, lets slip a venomous jest to his dice partner, a burly fuller named Gaius. Nero dreams of divine fire, he slurs, leaning close enough for the garlic on his breath to curdle milk, the god's own blaze to raise these slums and birth his golden stage, a palace where hell sing Troy anew, while we roast like forgotten sausages, meant as bitter mockery of the emperor's artistic megalomania whispered in the safety of Subura's shadows, but Gaius' eyes gleaming with the thrill of forbidden barbs files it away like contraband silk, the seeds of chaos tucked into a belch. As dawn breaks hot and merciless on July 19th, that jest doesn't die in the dregs, it slithers out like smoke from a hidden brazier. Gaius, nursing a hangover at the Forum of Augustus by noon, repeats it over figs, and cheese to a cluster of forum loafers, merchants griping about grain shortages, twisting Lucius' jest into half-truth. Nero's men torched the circus shops last night for the emperor's grand design. The words land like embers on dry thatch, availability heuristic at work, that mental shortcut where fresh fears make wild tales feel inevitable, every ear recalling Nero's recent purges of senators who dared yawn at his recitals. By Vespers, as actual sparks flicker to life in the merchant stalls lining the Circus Maximus southern curve, piled high with flammable oils and bolts of wool under a merciless Sirocco wind from Africa, the rumor has metastasized through Subura's veins, carried by water carriers sloshing amphorae and beggars limping from gate to gate. Whispers hit the forum's marble flanks, where augurs in togas mutter of omens, the Sibylline books consulted in vain, and panic coils like a serpent. Groupthink, gripping the crowd, convincing slaves and senators alike that this isn't accident but apocalypse, ordained from the Palatine. Pivot point 1. The whisper strikes the forum, and hands that might douse flames instead clutch looted silver. Opportunists emboldened by the tale of imperial intent, their plundering fanning gusts into gales. The blaze, born innocently perhaps from an overturned lamp in a silversmith's booth, leaps alley to alley, devouring tenements where families huddle on rooftops, their screams a chorus to the rumor's roar. But wait, the true igniter, not Lucius' folly alone, but a deeper twist, the emperor's own vague edicts months prior for urban clearance, leaked by a disgruntled praetorian, blending fact and fiction into a perfect storm of suspicion that paralyzes the Vigile's firefighters, their hoses withheld lest they thwart divine will. Feel the flames feed on lies layer by incendiary layer as the inferno chews through the Palatine and Caelian hills. 6 days of unrelenting fury that blackens the sky with ash clouds blotting the sun, turning noon to Hades' dusk. 300,000 souls flee in pandemonium trampling kin, in stampedes toward the Tiber, while the fire rebirths itself on the third day, leaping gaps cleared by desperate sappers, only to claim the atrium, Vestae Vestal's sacred hearth, ironically fueling the blaze. Psychological vice tightens, confirmation bias locking jaws on the rumor, every collapsed colonnade proof of Nero's hubris. Crowds in the Campus Martius, shouting for blood as looters strip marble from temples mid-collapse. Without that tavern slip, perhaps the vigils rally unhindered. Containment lines hold at the Esquiline Gate, Subura spared its charter cinders. No cascade to the Capitoline, where Jupiter's gold roof melts like wax. But the jest metastasizes, reaching even the emperor's ears in distant Antium, where Nero, alerted by frantic couriers, slick with soot, races back on a foam-flecked stallion, his golden curls matted, arriving to a capital that reeks of charred flesh and betrayal. He throws open the Domus Transitoria, his half-built palace to shelter 10,000 homeless dispatches, grain ships from Ostia to crash prices. Funds brick by brick, rebuilds with his own purse. Yet the whispers cling like smoke, branding him the arsonist poet, his lyre strings tuned to destruction. Empire teeters, Praetorians muttering of coups, the butterfly wingbeat threatening to topple the Julio Claudians 4 centuries of marble might. And then the storm unleashes its ashen legacy, reshaping Rome from rubble in ways that echo to eternity. Nero, cornered by the calumny, unleashes the vigils on a new prey. Christians, that shadowy sect of fish, signed fanatics from Judea's fringe, branded arsonists in a deflection as brutal as it is brilliant, their gatherings in catacombs twisted into proof of pyromaniac plots. Tacitus recounts the horrors, arrests swelling to thousands, torture ringing false confessions, executions in the Vatican gardens where living torches light Nero's nocturnal feasts, beasts tearing flesh in the arena, crosses blotting the horizon like a forest of the damned, birthing 3 centuries of sporadic persecution that scatters the faith like embers, seeding martyrs whose blood irrigates Europe's soul. From the pyres rise urban phoenixes, Nero's edicts mandating wider streets, brick facades over wood, gardens in courtyards to starve future fires, birthing the insulae we romanticize in ruins today. Concise etymology nugget, Neros fiddle that mythic lyre strum, while the city smoulders, coined from Suetonius' satire, a shareable barb exposing how one rumor forges idioms that scar history. Colosseum seeds sprout too, amphitheaters rising on raised slums to placate the plebs, while the Domus Aurea sprawls golden across the Palatine, its lake and porticos a tyrant's folly funded by provincial plunder, accelerating the empire's fiscal hemorrhage. Modern echoes blaze bright QAnon webs mirroring Subura gossip mills, where viral conspiracies amplify availability biases. Into January 6th, sieges fake news laws, tracing roots to Nero's scapegoats, reminding us misinformation isn't modern malice, it's humanity's oldest accelerant, turning jest into justices. That rumor, social media's ancient ancestor, flickering in every unchecked feed where whispers ignite worlds. Burned by these fragile flames yet? Like if you're a truth seeker, forged in the fire, subscribe to chase more butterflies through history's blaze, and comment your wildest gossip gone wrong below. We sift every ash for the next spark. What's simmering in your circles? One slip from inferno.